Hello, everybody. So I'm Matt. For those of you who don't know me, which you probably don't, besides Janine and Jimmy, married into the Breslin family. Talk about emotional scars. Whoa. No, but that's not what I'm talking to talk about. I'm a transplant. I'm from Northern Virginia. I grew up in Northern Virginia. Met my wife at school, Jimmy's sister, and we used to. I guess it's been 14 years. Jimmy, don't tell, or Janine, don't tell Katie that I'm not really sure on the number. I think it's 14. I'm pretty sure. I'm not really sure, but anyway. So our first year we got married. I'm a big mountain biker, and I still am today. Jimmy and I go out a lot. And I forgot to mention too, judges, I really don't care. I'll get a mug from Jimmy, regardless. So you can do whatever you want to do. It's all good. So we were, yeah, I already got a 1 and a 1 from the bar. That's awesome. Anyway, so it was our first year we got married, and we lived in a one-bedroom apartment. We were on the 3rd floor, and I was working on my bike, and I went down to the parking lot to check it out, check out my gears, check out how it was shifting and everything. And I met this guy who was on a Lightspeed, which I don't know if anybody mountain bikes out there. Lightspeed at the time was a titanium bike. It was a high-end bike, so I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, this guy, you know, he's got a cool bike. He probably knows how to ride, da-da-da. So we got to talking and stuff, and he's like, well, what are you doing today? I was like, oh, I'd like to go for a ride. What, you know, would you like to come with me? He's like, yeah, let's go. He's like, where do you want to go? And I said, let's go up to Patapsco River Valley, which is up south of Baltimore. It's about an hour-and-a-half ride from where we live in Northern Virginia. So I don't remember, because it was 14 years ago, I don't remember the guy's name, but who else, or who here has watched Seinfeld? I mean, I know everyone has. And you know the episode where George and Kramer go climbing with the guy's name is Tony? You know, he picks up his collar, he's like, hey, Tony, Tony, you know? And then George hands him the peanut butter sandwich, and he falls off and gets hurt. And that's what this guy reminded me of. Long hair, kind of, you know, just extreme, you know? So we go up, we take his car, I tell my wife that we're going up there, go up there, we ride, we're about 2 hours into our ride, and I do an endo, which for those of you who don't know what an endo is doing a Superman over your bike. I had clipless pedals, which you clip into, and I just didn't get out my pedals on time. So my bike flipped over me, and my 44-tooth chainring decided to stick itself in my calf. So this guy, who I'll refer to as Tony, because I forget his name, actually had to pull the bike out of my leg. Okay, and I don't do very good with my own blood. I'm trained in first aid and CPR and everything. I can handle other people's blood, but just the warm feeling of the blood coming out of my leg, and I just, So I nearly passed out on the trail, took my jersey off, wrapped it around, I had to ride out. And Tony's like, you know, oh man, you're so hardcore. Like, you know, you're awesome. I'm like, dude, this is cool. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. I'm like, really, dude? Like, I'm about to pass out. Just zip it. So we end up going to a hospital up there in Baltimore. We you know, put it on the GPS or whatever. I didn't have my insurance cards with me, of course, because I didn't. So, you know, I called my wife, and, you know, they took me in, they looked at my leg and said, yeah, we need to put you back in triage right away. You're losing a lot of blood, because my adrenaline was pumping, and it was just pumping out of my leg. And they said, okay, just, you know, can I sit down? Because I really feel faint. I was white. I felt like I was going to pass out again. So they took me back, and the doctor's like, yeah, we need to irrigate that. We need to, you know, numb it up. And so the doctor proceeds, and the ER doctor proceeds in cleaning it up and stuff, and he's, you know, putting needles, all kinds of needles and stuff in my leg. I'm on my stomach. He's got his fingers, like, in my leg, like, cleaning it out. And, you know, and so then the lady comes back to check me in to the hospital, and because I don't have my insurance card, she's telling the doctor to stop. And so the doctor, I can feel the doctor, like, kind of like going back and forth, and he stops. And he keeps his fingers in my leg. And I'm like, I'm looking back, and I go, guys, I don't feel really good right now. I'm going to pass out again. And they're like going back and forth deciding. And Tony's on the phone with my wife trying to get the information and stuff. And so I actually did pass out. Like, I couldn't handle it. I was just passed out. Woke up, and here's Tony, who I refer to as Tony. I don't know what his real name is. He's hitting on the nurse. Giving me like a thumbs up, like. And I'm just like, are you serious? So, long story short, I ended up with like 15 stitches on my leg. Tony drove me home, dropped me off. My wife was like, never again will you do that with whoever he was. You know? And I said, well, it wasn't his fault. And so, you know, I wore long pants today, so ladies, you know, if you want to come over, I can pull my leg up. And so, guys, I don't judge. If you want to come over and look at the scar too, feel free. That's my scar story.